Tanisha Biz. Welcome to my kitchen, guys. I wanted to literally bring you guys on in because I am making my favorite tonight. That is my kale greens. And I want to share with you guys my journey, my story. You know, when I started the alkaline dieting, I just didn't know what to expect. And so we began to, really start to put together some recipes, and some of the things I just was like, I'm not doing. Kale was one of them because I was like, I just didn't like the way that it tastes. So I wanted to really begin to think about how I made my collard greens. And I was like, well, what if I changed out the collards for the kale? How would that be? So as I began to walk through this journey, I created this amazing kale greens that I absolutely love. And I'm going to share with you on today how I do my kales. Are you guys ready?
Lifestyle, health and wellness, true beauty, fashion and what's in true beauty. Come and hear our message. True beauty, beauty from within. Oh, lifestyle, health and wellness, true beauty, fashion and what's in true beauty. Come and hear our message. True beauty, beauty from within.
So guys, let me share with you again what I make, what I'm doing. Okay, so for once, you're definitely going to need bell peppers. I love my green bell peppers, and I actually just eat them raw. They're really good for you. Extremely amazing. These like replaces my chips, right? So you're gonna need some green peppers. You're gonna saute those as well. You're definitely going to need some red bell pepper. They are sweet, so they give you that sweet flavor. You're going to need your onions. Now, you can use your red onions. Your red onions are more alkaline, so you want to use your red onions. However, in this dish today, I'm using my white onion, which is also alkaline as well. And for my kids, I'm using habanero, okay? Habanero. You have onion powder, sea salt, white pepper, grapeseed oil, and some vegetable stock, and my favorite, a bouillon cube. Bouillon cube is absolutely amazing, brings so many flavors into your kale, and that's what I use to actually make my kale seasoning really good. So let's get started. I'm going to take you over in a minute to my stove, but let me share with you the type of kale that I'm using, okay? So guys, listen, let me just share with you really briefly. There's so many different ways you can make your kale. I really absolutely don't have a problem with the bag kale versus the one that comes in the bush. I love the bush because there's so many different things that you can do with them. So when it comes to your kale, you have your bag kale that looks just like this. These are the loose leaf of your kale from your bag. And then when you get your kale from the bush, I love this way because it looks exactly like this and it comes like that. You definitely will I love this way, okay? It's absolutely amazing. What I normally do is I squeeze some lime over it while I'm cleaning it so that it can, any smell or anything like that from the bag or whatever, it'll kill that scent. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to actually cut off the stem, and you can leave the stem as well. I like to cut those off. And I like to actually put this into my kale mixture. So you want to cut those up, okay? Put those aside, and then you can turn this over just like this if you want to. Some people go in and they just kind of cut this like this, okay? And cut the stem off. Some people go in and they just kind of break it off like this. If you're old school, you just break it off and they kind of cut it to size, or they can leave it like that. I like to just kind of cut it to size, just like that. And that's all you do with this kale. You can do it just like this, or you can actually do what I normally do. You can actually roll it like this. I used to like to roll it as well. And then you can cut it like so. And there you go. So come over to my stove so that we can go ahead and put all this amazing ingredients together so that you can have an amazing kale greens dish. Okay guys, so we are here at the kitchen and I want to show you guys how to put all this amazing stuff together. So this is, of course, I have some grapeseed oil. I'm going to put this in the pot just a little bit. There we go. So I'm putting the red bell pepper. I'm going to put some onion. And definitely this habanero. Okay. And so here's what I'm doing. I'm cooking this down. As I cook this down, I'm going to also add, I'm going to also add my favorite bouillon cube. Just stick it down in there, guys, and crunch it up, crush it up. So basically what you could do is you're going to definitely put your red bell pepper and your green and also your onion. You can use your red onion. Your red onion is going to be more alkaline, okay? But as of right now, I'm actually using the white onion, all right? So we're going to cook that down really well. This is at a point you can actually season your vegetables. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of sea salt. Sea salt. I'm going to put a little bit of white pepper. And I'm also going to put some onion powder. Now I'm going to mix that in really good. And this is where you want to just keep it sauteed down. You don't want to saute it too much to where it's like really, you want to keep a bite. You want to keep a crunch. Cook that down just maybe about a good 7 minutes. Give it a nice cook. And I turned my stove up just a little bit. I'm going to put my top on there so it can cook really nice. And you can also set your timer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up. I would love for you guys to see because it smells so good. Honey, I could just eat this like this. I wish you guys on Facebook Live can actually I'm going to let you guys see what this look like on Facebook Live. My Facebook Live people. Look at that. You look how pretty that is. Your red bell pepper. I'm going to add my vegetable stock. Now I have right now we have a 3/4 cup. I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. And I'm going to leave a 1/4 cup for the end just in case. So what I'm doing now is I'm making broth. I'm letting this cook down and I'm letting this, it's going to start boiling and it's going to start kind of like merging together. And I'm going to let this cook down. And then once this kind of boil and come together, and what I normally do is, y'all know what mama them do, they taste the broth to make sure, that is good, that's delicious. Okay, that's really good. Those habaneros, man, the habaneros in there make it spicy. Woo, that's what I'm looking for. Perfect taste, it tastes really good. And also, Something that I also started doing, but you do not have to do this. So I take, at the end, I take a little bit of agave and take a tiny bit of agave and put it over it and mix it in. You don't necessarily have to do that. I don't have it for this actual recipe, but you can use it like this. So we have the onion, the 2 bell peppers, the red and green, cooking down right now with the bouillon and also the chicken stock. And then we're gonna also put our kale in there. Let's talk a little bit about our kale green. So one of the things about the kale green that I really love the most is that this kale green is actually come from the bag, and this one comes from a bush. They're nice little bush that you can kind of use as a garnish. I like to have my kale chopped up like this. I really do, and I like them small. I don't like them too bushy at all. I like them just like that. Okay guys, so we're gonna come back. Thank you guys so much for jumping on and dealing with this with us. This was our very first food video, so we see some new things we're going to be doing, but this will work out fine. This is perfectly fine for right now. Okay, here we go. All right guys, now as you see, it is cooking it up a notch up in here. Y'all see that? It smells good. I'm being honest, like it really does smell good. Look at that. That's why I left a 4th cup of the broth, just in case if it actually boils a little bit too much, you could add some more broth in there. I love this. This is so amazing. This is a perfect dish for you guys to eat, or a perfect way to eat kale. If you don't like kale, some of you guys can just do it like you do your collard greens. I just love doing this right here, okay? Now that that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to now add our kale. And the way that I do it is, let me start with the smaller batch. Okay, I'm just going to take it here. I'm going to dump it in there. That's all you're going to do. You're just going to dump it there. And of course, remember guys, I told you to take the little stems and put all the stems in there as well. Okay, put the stems in there as well. What I do with this is I put it in there and I let it kind of go down a little bit. So I'm going to put this top on here, let it cook down. Once it cooks down, you want to put the rest of your kale in there. You could, trust me guys, you'll be able to get all this kale in there and it'll smell good and it'll be so good. You can also use a bigger pot if you wanted to, but I'm just going to be using this one for today. But while this is cooking, what I try to do is I take a little bit, not much guys, a little bit of sea salt because it's already really seasoned. Take a little bit more sea salt and kind of drizzle it in the middle. Onion powder and drizzle it in the middle, not that much. White pepper and drizzle it in the middle, and let that cook down real good because you're going to mix all this together. And once you start mixing it, you're not going to need but a tiny bit of sea salt and black and white pepper on the top. And that's all you're going to need. And then you will have an amazing meal that you can add this to your Christmas dinner. You can add this to just a regular home dinner. You can add this to your girlfriends coming over, you guys having a dinner party. You can definitely add this to that, okay? And Facebook Live will be back. I hope you guys will visit our YouTube channel so you can see the whole finished product, okay? Thank you. All right guys, so now as you see, it's actually going down. I'm going to mix this in. Oh my God, that looks so amazing, guys. Jesus, it looks good. I'm telling you guys, when you go home and you do this, you are going to call me and thank me because this kale is thebomb.com. Now I'm going to move this around. Now that's done, I'm going to put more kale in there. Give it some more kale. I'm going to let that go down. And then we have one more batch of kale to do. And we put that down. Now you can use a bigger pot, but I like to cook it slow and nice. I don't like to cook it all fast. Kale takes time to cook, guys. Well, guys, this was a masterpiece. I'm excited because I was able to share one of my favorite meals that I actually didn't like, but it has become my favorite meal in my entire family. I literally cook it every week. I wanted to share my kale greens and how I make my kale greens and how it has been a hit in my family, and I hope it is also going to be a hit in your family. Well guys, here's the final product, and I promise you, All you have to do is just make it and dive in.